welcome back to another episode of SEC Clash. I'm your host, Justin Johnson. In my last episode, I wanted to talk about how some things were working for the new college football year. I'm also going to touch on some pretty big news that came through this down season, off season. We're going to go ahead and get into that. Let's go ahead and start in the House versus the NCAA. The judges approved sweeping reforms for all athletes, compensation and payback totaling up to a whopping $2.85 billion. From 2016 to 2024, it's based on the sport and if they played and if they were in a major conference. If they played in a major conference, football, men's basketball, women's basketball will have the biggest payback, up to 5 or 6 figures for them. It will be distributed over 10 years. Now, what this means is that players that played from 2016 up, the ones who played in big conferences, stuff like that, they're going to get some money back. That means they're $2.85 billion in the hole. They got to play all these players back, and they say they're going to do it with over a 10-year span to give all these players back all their money or give them money. So that's what they're doing on that. Now let's talk about the salary cap. It's every institute's getting $20.5 million. It's expected to increase every year, reaching up to $33 million in the year 2035. This applies to all sports and not just the revenue-generating ones. The Power 5 schools will roughly put about 70 to 75% into football and basketball. The rosters have gone up from 85 to 105. So sports, let's say the Power 5 conferences, a lot of those will put into, like I said, into football and basketball. Now, what this means is that your other sports that don't have revenue generating, they could be, some of them now could be in trouble of losing the program or losing that sport. So that could be bad. I don't know. It could go up. I think it's going to go up. It seems like, but places like, let's say Kentucky is more of a basketball school than it is a football school. They're going to probably put more into their basketball than they are their football. So say they want to put they want to put a high percentage in there. Well, that's not going to leave a whole lot for football or the rest. Football's probably going to get the rest of whatever basketball doesn't get. And it's going to be the other way around for like these other teams that are high on football in the SEC, like Texas, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, all those teams. Every one of them besides Kentucky pretty much. Basketball there was a lot of SEC teams that did really good last year for basketball. And I don't know if that's going to be the same carrying on now that we got different ways of putting money in there and you only got $20.5 million. I know that seems like a lot, but it goes so far when you're getting into these NIL deals. Another thing, Clemson and North Carolina, are they coming to the SEC? Well, the ACC exit fee will be declined from $165 million to $93 million by the year 2031, and it will go down to a flat $75 million. It will go down to about $75 million. That would be the lowest it's going to go that we know of. The SEC would be up to 18 schools if North Carolina and Clemson come in. Those are the most talked about coming into the SEC. The schools might not be the North Carolina might not be the best in football, but their basketball program is really good, and Clemson, we all know, is a pretty good football program. They're actually got the most product coming back in college football, and a lot of people have them winning the national championship this year. I don't know about all of that, but we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be interesting. Nothing is set in stone. This is just what they're talking about. Hands not been shook. Nothing. North Carolina knows really looking into it. I don't know a lot about Clemson. There's hearsay of Clemson, but there's more talk of North Carolina wanting to come into the SEC, and the SEC, I think, is interested. Next, Nick Saban coming back to coach. No. He is not coming back. He's enjoying retirement. He said there's no opportunity that would entice him to come back. He's enjoying his retirement. Leave the man alone. He's about to be 74 years old. And Alabama fans are hoping that he comes back. Look, we got Kalen DeBoer. And everybody's so mad at this guy because the guy had a 9-4 season. Oh, well, he lost to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma and Michigan. Okay, that was his first year. Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe his first year. But he had a Ferrari. He had a Ferrari given to him. Nick Saban gave him a heck of a team. Well, really? Because I heard people talking a lot of trash on Jalen Milroe saying hey, he wasn't nowhere near a good quarterback. Well, why didn't he? I got told the other day, why didn't he just change the quarterback? If he was a good coach, he would have made those changes. You can't just do that right then and there. You can't just do that. You're gonna say these other players see, he's changed out the quarterback. Looks like he's doing away with all of us. That's going to cause some of them to jump in the transfer portal. There's a bigger risk now. He knew. He was like, okay. I think what he did, he was like, okay, let's let Jalen Milroe run his course. He'll be gone. Then he'll put in there. Ty Simpson is said to be starting. We don't know 100% for sure, but it's almost, I think behind the scenes they're going with him. They're not saying it's set in stone, but I think they're going with him. But give the man a chance. It was his first year. Jesus Christ. And some of you Alabama fans are crybabies. Do y'all not remember the years that we lost all the time? Oh, coach we had before Nick Saban was Mike. We didn't do good. Didn't do good at all. Y'all remember we lost to Auburn every year. We're winning against Auburn now. We got 9-win season. Y'all just ain't happy about it. Just can't be happy. You can't please them. I'm an Alabama fan, and I know this. Some of y'all need to, I don't know, some of y'all were probably only born during the Nick Saban era. So y'all only know Alabama just dominates. Well, with this whole NIL and everything coming into play, it's a totally different game now. It's hard. I don't think no team can go undefeated anymore. I'll be shocked if I see an undefeated team in the SEC this year. It's hard. Anyway, I'm going to get off that rant. The 16-team playoff. It's very strong that it's going to happen. Pretty strongly it's going to happen. Nothing is a final decision yet on that, but it looks like that is the way it's going. So get ready for a 16-team playoff. It's coming. More teams get in. Everybody's going to be into it because that's another chance for them to get their team into it. So I think that's a 99% thing that's going to happen. Anyway, let's go to the 5-11 and the 4-4-2-2-1-3. What is this? What are you talking about? Well, I wanted to dig some more into this because I had to see which way everybody was going. The 5+11 looks to be the way that college football is going to be going. It's the 5 highest ranked conference champions get into the top spots, and the other highest 11 teams will get the remaining spots. Is pretty much like it is now. The top 5 conferences will get those spots and will hold them. And then the other 11 teams will take over. The other spots that are not conference champions. They'll pick they'll be the best, and they'll get in. And then you have the 4-4-2-2-1-3. The 4-4-2-2-1-3. That would mean that the SEC and the Big Ten get 4 teams in automatically, and the Big 12 and the ACC get 2 teams in each automatically. One is to the highest ranked group of the 6 conferences champs and 3 at-large selection. So what they're looking like they're going to go to the 5+11. I know the SEC was interested in going to the 4-4-2-2-1-3, but now they have changed direction. It's now looking like the 5-11 will. The SEC has now took sides with the SEC and the Big Ten. I don't know. I kept wanting to say, make sure I get it right. I don't want to say it wrong. But yeah, the SEC and Big Ten, they've sided with the Big Ten and going with the 5+11. They were with the on the other side with the 4-4, but they have changed their mind and they're going the other direction. Looks like it's going to go that direction. So, but we'll see. We'll see. The SEC, is the SEC moving to 9 conference games? No. As for right now, no. It's not moving and it's not happening. They have not decided. They have decided to stay with 8 and with no divisions. They don't want to play 9. That's another loss. That's another thing that can hurt you and keep you out of the playoffs. Why would you want to do that? I know that I think all the coaches came together and talked about that and was like, no, we do not want to do that with the SEC commissioner. But that they're going to stay with 8 with that. So that's going to be the way they're going. Now let's talk about this company that's coming in called Deloitte. They're going to come in and kind of manage over the NIL deals and kind of keep track on things. That's going to be hard to do. That's a lot. A lot of people are not happy with this coming in. I know they're going to be keeping an eye on all this. Third parties and boosters and all this other stuff, and they're going to make sure that I know there's a thing just signed saying that they got to make now that if these players get paid that amount of money and they're saying that hey they're getting paid this because they're going to do I don't know, a commercial or they're going to be on TV or T-shirt or whatever they're going to be on, they're going to they're getting the money for that. They're going to make sure that okay, this player is doing that to get that money, and you can't just give them money. That all these boosters will just for their these teams are like, okay, well we won't have the money, the rest of the money, give it to them. Boosters, can you please give them the money so we can have them on their team? They're probably not going to approve that, and I heard that it's going to be very unlikely that they're going to approve a lot of this money coming from boosters. A lot will be approved from the NIL, but from the boosters, I heard, from what I hear, it's not going to be a lot on that. So we'll see how that goes. Big changes are coming into the SEC. Football is right around the corner. I'm really excited for it. There's actually a NFL game that's coming on tonight, actually, Thursday. That just shows you right there that we're just this close for some college football and some SEC football. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see. Got some great. I think this is probably the greatest Week 1 games I have ever seen. This is going to be very exciting. Might as well get ready, sit down, get cozy, and get ready for some ball games. I'm really excited. I just always get ready. It's my favorite time of the year, especially when this cold weather gets back in. Goodness, this has been hot. I'm in Alabama. That humidity is awful. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, you can always find me on YouTube, X, Reddit, Spotify. I'm trying to be everywhere. I'm trying to do better. If you like this or you don't like it, something about this, please put it in the comments down below. Please like if you do like it. I really appreciate everybody watching and liking and commenting. I'm trying to do, like I said, I'm still new to this, so I'm trying to figure things out. I'm trying to get better equipment here in the long run and trying to do better. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for tuning in to SEC Clash, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.